The Town of Babylon Division of Substance Abuse Services is a program that's dedicated to helping our patients recover from the disease of chemical dependency in a safe environment, in a place where they can feel safe and be able to achieve their recovery and go on to become productive citizens.
When I first came out of treatment, it was fear of the outside, what lie ahead, and what I was able to accomplish.
For me, in early sobriety, I had to be careful of people, places, and things. That's what I was told to beware of. I couldn't, be with maybe people that would be a trigger for me, or situations where I used to, drink or do drugs.
Well, the consequences of early recovery for me really was finding a place of comfort, because drugs and alcohol are everywhere. I had a 10-year addiction. So the triggers were in the streets, they were on the placards, they were in the stores.
When you come into a situation where there's alcohol, good thing is to take yourself away from it, okay? Walk away from it. Call a sponsor, utilize your group, utilize your peer support.
I had to just be mindful of my situations. I had to be mindful of the choices that I made and the places that I went and the people that I, would associate with.
When I woke up from that alcoholic fog, and I realized that the people that I was associating with were doing exactly the same thing I was doing, I realized that those associations and those relationships were really centered around the drug. Now that that was no longer going to be part of my life, I had to learn how that social process was going to happen without a drink or a drug.
Run through your head, what will happen if I decide to pick up and drink? It's not usually that you're going to drink one and it's going to be okay. Most of us don't have that type of luck. We pick up one and we're off to the races, and that's the old saying.
Somebody can say, I can have a drink and I'm okay. That's you. But for the alcoholic and the drug addict, that one can run 10 years.
Human beings are social animals. And one of the things that was important for me in my recovery was getting away from those individuals that I associated with as an active alcoholic and starting a whole new social life for myself, starting a whole new group of associations that was not alcohol or drug centered.
And in early recovery, I was, blessed to have a group of friends who we all kind of just got together. After meetings, we would go to the diner, we would do things together, just sober type of activities.
What really helped me the most was that I had to have people that I could identify with. Sometimes family, they can't deal with it because they only remember you with how you were. But going through some type of an addiction, you're not the same. You may look the same to them, but you're not the same. So you really have to tap into people who can identify with where you're at and where you want to go. So having a sponsor is great because there are triggers, man. I'm telling you, this culture is set up, for relapse.
So it's important to be part of a community support group in terms of getting sober and having a life in recovery, because just of the word support, that we need the support of each other.
And the support is crucial to maintaining sobriety throughout the rest of your life.
The one advice I would give anybody that's coming into this lifestyle is that all of us have gone through the same thing. The first thing we all go through, we deny that we have the problem. That's the first thing. So that's common no matter what gender, what your ethnicity is, So the thing is, figure this out early. You got to start becoming honest.
So with the help of a phone call, the help of a support group that's there every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours, morning, night.
See, community programs are really important because what they do, they touch base with the person one-on-one. They talk, they're honest, you can be open. And if you don't want to be open, at least you're in a group setting where you can at least listen to people that have gone through it. So you get an idea, you draw from the ideas, because there's no such thing as good or bad. People think, oh, well, it's not for me. Well, if you're in the room, it is for you, because you're going to learn something. So those programs, whether it's AA, NA, or whether it's just outpatient programs, they help you to at least focus, and you're going to hear something that's going to really touch where you're at in your recovery.
Well, one of the things that we find with people in early recovery, especially when they have become newly detoxified from their chemical of choice, is they start to wake up and they say, my gosh, look at all of the things I've been missing. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm seeing what recovery can be, and now suddenly, instead of being a day or two or a month or a couple of weeks in recovery, I want to be a year into recovery, trying to rush the process.
Honesty is the worst enemy to your disease. The more you hide, the more you try to shelter, the disease keeps growing and expanding, and before you know it, you'll end up in prison like I did, and your life will be out of control, family's out of control. But I'm saying to you, I got 10 years clean, and I got my family back, I got my life back, I have a music career, I'm doing very well because I had to start being honest.
Now, September is National Recovery Month, and it is part of our celebration of recovery from chemical dependencies. And what we did last year was we put on this party. We had close to 300 people there. And we had a DJ, and we had dancing, and we had a big free Italian buffet, all supplied by donations from the community. And it was amazing to see this 275 people in this one facility having a great time, dancing, eating, and listening to a lot of great music, and there was not one drop of alcohol or one drug in the whole place. And most of these people who were there were recovering folks, but we also want you to know that it's open to anybody who was in support of recovery or was part of the recovery community.
Programs like Rockin' Recovery, and also we're doing something in Gospel Health Fair. These are programs that allow the individual who's in recovery to identify with people that are like him or her. It's so important that you can go to a place where you can say, you know what, that guy over there, I don't know him, but we share something in common. So that is a support. It gives you strength, it helps you just to relax, and plus, it's a sober environment. So you can't get better than that, and you're getting entertainment. So I advise anybody, if you get an opportunity, to attend a Rockin' Recovery event.